Right, so let's get to this problem solving because there were some struggles with it, some good struggles, but we need to kind of go over it. All right, so we have on a beautiful day, there are 65 cars in the beach parking lot, 26 more cars parked in the parking lot before noon, but 17 cars left. How many cars are in the beach parking lot? Okay, so we need to figure out some information over here, right? So we know that there are 65 cars in the parking lot, right? In the beach parking lot. 26 more cars parked in the parking lot before noon, all right? Actually, really 26 more cars. So the first thing we have to do is, okay, they started out with 65 cars, right? Now, if 26 more cars come, you have to ask yourself this question. Did the number of cars increase or decrease? That's what you have to figure out. Okay, that's our step one. So step one, it's a very short amount of space because I have to, let's see if we could do this over here. Let's see. All right, so step one. I know it's kind of small and I don't usually do it this way. All right, but we have 65 plus 26, which is 91. Okay, so we have 91 cars. But then the second part, step two, is 17 cars out of that 91 left. So now we have to ask ourselves, we have 91 cars. If 17 of those cars left, does it increase or decrease? Exactly, it decreases. So what do we have to do? We have to take set 91 minus 17, okay? And then, I know it's a little sloppy, and then we come up with 74. So there are 74 cars in the parking lot. That was pretty easy for you guys. Now, part two was a trick. It wasn't really a trick because it says how many automobiles were in the parking lot. Okay, so what do we have? We had 65. You already actually answered it. You had 65 cars plus 26 more came. So you had 91 cars. That's it. I didn't ask you how many left. You had 91 cars that were in the parking lot. It's true 17 left. But during the day at some point, there were 91 cars in the parking lot. That's really basically what I was asking you to do. I forgot to regroup the 1 over here, the 10 over here. That's it. That's all there was. There was nothing else fancy about it. There was nothing else tricky about it. Again, at some point in the parking lot, there were 91 cars. Nothing about they left. That's all I asked. At one point, the highest number of cars they had, 91 cars. That's it. Okay, so the second question that you had was about volleyballs, all right? There were 18 volleyballs in the bag. There were 13 volleyballs in the basket. 10 volleyballs were used for practice. How many volleyballs were not used? Okay, so we know that there were 18 volleyballs in the bag. We know that 13 volleyballs in the basket. So the question we have to start out asking ourselves is 18 volleyballs in the bag. If there are 13 volleyballs in the basket, is the number of volleyballs going to increase or decrease right now? Yes, it is going to increase, exactly, all right? So step one is showing the increase, 18 plus 13, right, equals 31. Okay, so there's 31. I'm just going to put VB for volleyballs right now. Now they're saying 10 balls were used for practice. Okay, so out of this 31, they took 10 for practice. So if they're taking 10 balls from that total, is it going to increase or decrease? Exactly. It has to decrease because they're taking it away, literally taking it away. You have to retell the story in this. Make it exciting. All right, so we have 31, that's our total, minus 10 equals 21. So 21 volleyballs were not used. 10 balls, I forgot to underline that, were used for practice, were not used. So 21 volleyballs were not used. Now, usually I would make you write this all out, but I actually am limited in space for right now, okay? So part 2, it says, how many volleyballs were there? Well, you actually answered the question. There were 18 volleyballs in the bag, and there were 13 volleyballs in the basket. How many volleyballs were there? There were 31 volleyballs. Usually, again, I would make you write that out in a solution sentence, and please do that. I'm just doing this because I'm strapped for space. Okay, I don't have enough space. That's all I was asking. So you need to be aware of those questions. You need to think and you need to ask yourself questions in order to answer a question. Use the information. Don't panic. Again, go back to volleyballs. 10 had nothing to do with part 2. You got to think. Go step by step.